tonight. Scheduled at the Philadelphia Spectrum on tonight's pro wrestling card will be individual appearances of Jesse the Body Ventura, along with Adrian Adonis making his presence known. On the tag team matchup, Lou Albano's tag team champions, Mr. Fuji and Mr. Saito, set to take on Tony Garea and Rick Martel in the return match. However, the official guest referee, no less than Mr. USA Tony Atlas. Meeting individual competition on this card will be Pedro Morales squaring off against Killer Khan. Morales incidentally all right. Scheduled as well to meet individual competition will be no less than Greg Valentine, the #1 contender for the World Wrestling Federation Championship, meeting the title holder, Bob Backlund, our next guest. And there's no doubt that, Bob, you are keenly aware, as everyone else in Philadelphia is now, of just how far, or perhaps we should say just how low, Greg Valentine will stoop to gain a title. He's hungry, he's nasty, and he is mean.
Yeah, Vince, you know, when I get into the ring, I like to think about rules and regulations. The referee has something to do with it. There's certain things that you don't do. There's certain things that you do. And that's the way I felt when I got in the ring with Greg Valentine the last time I stepped in the ring with him in the Spectrum. But after all the things that have happened, the things that happened to me in the Spectrum last time, the things that happened to Pedro Morales out here right on television, well, you can't deal with a man like that. You can't deal with Greg Valentine thinking about rules and thinking about regulations and thinking about referees. And that's why I'm very, very happy that there's a steel cage match in that Spectrum with Greg Valentine and I wrapped around it, inside it, with no referee in there, no regulations, no rules to go by, just Valentine and I. And I don't like to think about losing the WWF title in a steel cage match. But that's the way it is. That's what the rules are in this match. That's the only rule that's in this match. The first one out gets to have the WWF belt around his waist. And I'm telling Greg Valentine, I'm going to be an animal when I get into that ring. And I'm going to make you pay for every scratch and every mark that you put on my body, Valentine. I'm ready for anything that goes on in a steel cage match. I've had a lot of luck in steel cage matches in this Spectrum. And I've had a heck of a lot of good support. Those people have been right behind me, and I'm not going to let none of them down. You're going to pay for what you did to me, and you're going to pay what you did to Pedro Morales. That kind of stuff doesn't happen in the sport that I'm proud of, professional wrestling.
Bob Backlund's commentary, and there's no doubt that dues will be paid. And according to Bob Backlund, the man that's going to be doing the paying is Greg Valentine. But you know, you have to wonder, Valentine being the type of man that he is, you wonder if this match is more Greg Valentine's style than it is Bob Backlund. So with that in mind, you really have to wonder whether or not Valentine will tonight be crowned the World Wrestling Federation champion. We'll have a word from Mr. Valentine, about ready to join us now, with his manager, the Grand Wizard of Wrestling.
I am pleased. Up until this last interview with Bob Backlund, I wasn't sure he was alive. I wasn't sure he could talk. Backlund, I'm glad we've got you mad, because we want you that way. Rules, regulations, they were all made to be broken, and that's exactly what's going to happen. We don't care what we have to do. The belt is it, right, champ?
You know, Bob Backlund, you said out here, you made a statement that you have been lucky in a lot of steel cage matches. Lucky, that's the word you said, lucky. Well, your luck is going to run out. And I'm not going into that steel cage of the Philadelphia Spectrum going on luck. I'm going on experience in a steel cage match. And let me tell you something, down south, nobody was more mean and more vicious in a steel cage than Greg Valentine. Now, you say the only way you can win this match is crawl over that steel cage. Well, how are you going to crawl over that steel cage when your leg is hanging there after I put that figure 4 leg lock on you? I'm going to be the only one that crawls over the top, and if you get smart, Backlund, I may just take you and pitch you off the top of that cage and suplex you like I did to Pedro Morales and end your career, and not only take your belt.